was young, ambitious, and suddenly the face of the Trump White House.
My name is Karoline Leavitt. I am from New Hampshire, and I am the White House press secretary.
Karoline Leavitt isn't just another press secretary. She's a message, a signal, a strategy. Born in 1997 in Atkinson, New Hampshire.
Grew up here in a business family, then worked for President Trump, fighting against the fake news and political elite. Together, we can fight back and win again.
She studied politics and communications at St. Anselm College, where she led the campus media team and learned how stories shaped perception. After interning at the Trump White House, she quickly climbed into political consulting, and by 27, became one of the youngest press secretaries in modern history.
Alrighty. Good afternoon, everybody, and happy Monday. Let's get to it, and we'll begin with a few scheduling announcements today. President Trump will be hosting the Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney.
But why did Trump pick her? Because she's a clean slate, young, media savvy, fiercely loyal, and unburdened by old Washington scars. To Trump, she's not just a communicator. She's a fighter who speaks in headlines, not paragraphs. She can defend attacks from the right and the left while speaking fluently the language of MAGA. And she's willing to spar with legacy media, something many others were hesitant to do. Before taking the job, she'd already run for Congress in New Hampshire. She lost, but the campaign turned her into a familiar face on conservative TV and a lightning rod for the left.
Yes, he definitely did take a risk, and it definitely paid off. Donald Trump was the winner of last night's debate because while you had this stage full of second-tier candidates...
Her critics called her inexperienced, untested, too young. But her supporters called her the media warrior Trump needs. Her tenure has been anything but quiet. A verbal slip, pundit instead of pundit, went viral.
All weekend following those historic U.S.-Russia bilateral talks, we listened to clueless pundits on television.
Pundits? No.
Her ties to Project 2025 sparked outrage, though she insists she has no formal involvement. And her heated exchange with CNN's Natasha Bertrand, where she accused the network of spreading false narratives, became headline material for days.
I will add Natasha Bertrand of CNN. 2020, it was Natasha Bertrand. Also in 2020, this same reporter, Natasha Bertrand. Also in 2024, Bertrand pushed. And then last October, and I believe this is notable, Natasha Bertrand published
She's
an
also
article
snapped at veteran journalists, calling questions stupid when pressed on Trump's decisions.
So if there were peaceful protests on Saturday for the military parade, President Trump would allow that?
Of course the president supports peaceful protests. What a stupid question.
And when Trump issued 2-week deadlines on Iran policy, again and again, Leavitt defended him, discounting earlier failures. But if there's one thing Leavitt learned from Trump, it's that conflict is communication. Each clash, every viral clip, reinforces her position in Trump's political media game, a space where outrage and loyalty often overlap. Before we go further, if you missed our breakdown of how fake news became a political weapon, check out The Birth of Fake News right here on the channel, because this story, her story, is the next chapter in that same battle.
But did Donald Trump invent the idea of fake news? No. He sharpened it, rebranded it, and used it like a shield.
Fox News embraced her early, calling her disciplined, fearless, a natural. But outlets like CNN and The Washington Post describe her as combative, overly rehearsed, even a reflection of Trump's temper. Between those two versions lies the real Karoline Leavitt, sharp, loyal, and aware that every word she speaks can shape how millions see her boss. So maybe she's not just a spokesperson. Maybe she's the prototype of a new political influencer, one who merges press, power, and performance. Because in today's media battlefield, the microphone is the weapon. So the question remains, is Karoline Leavitt the future face of political communication, or just another echo of Trump's playbook? That's for history and the headlines to decide.
If you think this was revealing, wait for what's next.
Stay informed. Subscribe to White House Facts versus Fiction.